Good morning, high-powered mamas. I'm so excited to be here on a Sunday, talking to you about transformation and hope, and especially in a season where it's literally pouring down blessings. As I speak outside of my window, pouring down blessings on us, and blessings that we might not even see until next month, be it flowers or the end to really strict regulations with the isolation. But either way, we're in a shift. We're in a season of shift and change, right? And so I have a few things I want to talk to you about today, because it's important for you to be able to self-examine and recognize where you are on your journey, and why I'm here with you. Okay, so this is the Sunday sermon brought to you with all the love in my heart from me, Kitty Kistler. And I am a life coach, for those of you who don't know, helping women make every day easier and more effective. So I may have been, guys, down this road before. So maybe I'm a few steps ahead of you. Or right now you might be thinking like, man, we are just like right, neck to neck, pace in the same pace, doing things side by side. Maybe you're on the same path of the journey with me, right? Or maybe you have already been down this road and you're guiding me and I'm learning from you. And I may be walking right behind you, and that's okay, right? So as humans, we are ever evolving and shifting and becoming ourselves. And so what we want to do is make sure that we understand where we are along the way and have the people that we need to have to make those things continue to evolve, continue to shift, and continue to grow. And this takes that self-examination. It's going to take effort and awareness. Literally, two of the hardest things to do, without a doubt. And they're hard because they take knowing who you are and what you want. And you've heard me say that 1,000 times. You have to know who you are and you have to know what you want. This is your reason. This is your why story, depending on if you know that from that perspective. But you really have to know why. Why do you even want that? Because sometimes you think you want something that you don't even want. So it's finding out who you are and what you want. And unfortunately, you have to take the action and start the process to even learn the answer to those before you can even start to see a shift, right? Not even slightly. You're not going to see any shift. You're going to see that spaghetti bowl happen where like the noodles are all over and you're going around and around for a really long time, and that's life. You're going to imitate the actions of others. You're going to go in the spaghetti noodles. Like if you could just get straight to the meatball, wouldn't that be awesome to just be like, just get me straight to the meatball? But we can't get there until we get all of the rest of the stuff out of the way. And so for you to get directly to the meatball, we just need to have a little bit more effort and awareness. And you just have to really understand and be really aware of what you want. And you have to start allowing yourself to emerge from that. So think about how you imitate the actions of others as you try to learn your way. And it's okay to do that because children do that all the time, right? That's literally how we as humans learn. They dress like you, walk like you, talk like you, right? And you might even catch them on the phone and they're like, oh, everybody, shh, mommy's on a call, right? Because that's how they learn, literally by watching and imitating you. And that's how you learn. So don't think of it as some form of failure that you have taken on books and podcasts and watched TV shows and read magazines and scoured Pinterest and fell into rabbit holes on Instagram, and because you do those things to absorb the world and to sort out your own details and yes, imitate, even if it's just a bit, the way that someone else is doing things, because you're trying so hard to figure out what you want and how it works for you. And you might look on the outside like you're nailing it, but you might think on the inside that you're failing it. And you aren't. You're just finding what works for you. And have you ever heard, I don't know if you're familiar with, if you're in sales at all, but everybody will always say to you, it's never going to work until it's your way. You know, like you can use all of the tips and tricks that everybody else wants to share with you, but it's never going to work until you're comfortable with it, till it makes sense to you, until it's your own system, till it sounds authentic coming from you. And that is one of the things that you have to remember in all aspects of life. You know, how you cook, how you clean, how you do dishes, how you drive a car. All of those things are going to come from what works for you and why you want to do it and who you are doing it. Because you didn't join Powered Like a Mother, or back in the day when it was called High Powered Women, to have me just spew positivity over your coffee, right? You joined that group because it was labeled and still is labeled high powered, because you're drawn to the idea of being high performing in your life, whether you already are or you're ready for the next step, or whether you want to be but you're having a hard time even just brewing your morning coffee. Listen, even I'm very routine and structured, but I have to make the choice every single day to do the things that take my life to the next step. Especially now when it feels like I'm doing so much more dishes, more cooking, more butt wiping. I mean, that's never fun. More hugs, more feeding, more spills to clean up, more laundry, even though that is shocking that we could even have more laundry for not leaving the house, more cleaning, more staying organized, more awareness around my money, less awareness around my time. Do I want to wake up before everybody else? Do I want to walk the dog? And then come have delicious sugar-free coffee? No, I don't. But I know that I need to always do the next best thing to get me to the life that I want for myself. And you have to do that too. Do I need the sugar? No, and that's why I cut it. Do I indulge in it every once in a while? Yes. I have a creamer in my refrigerator that if I'm having a day where I'm like, you know what, I want to have a sugar-laden beverage, then that is what I pick that day. I give myself permission to live within the comforts of my life. But I can't do that every day, because when I did that every day, I gained weight and I didn't feel good and I wasn't as active. I had more crashes. I know that doesn't work for me. If it works for you, then that's fantastic, right? But how do you know until you start doing the things and laying out the plan? So I literally teach you ease and efficiency because I don't enjoy difficulty and I don't enjoy time suck. I did that for way too long. I spent more money, wasted more stuff, had way less time. I was super bitty. I was super bitter. I was unhappy. I spent way too much time regretting and resenting things and people, not at all being the higher version of myself. And notice I didn't say the highest version of myself, because humans are ever evolving, like I already said. And so to be the highest would mean that I have maxed my ability to go any further, and I don't believe that that's ever possible. You are here because you want change. You are here because you want comfort. You are here because you want to live your best life. You are here for awareness. You are here for results. You're here for a new way. You're here for a better way. You're here because you know inside of you, you are high powered. You know that you are here because inside of you, you are made for more than what you are currently accepting. And I want you to just stop. And if you have a pen nearby, I want you to write that down. You are here because you know you are made for more than what you are currently accepting. Do you want more? Yes. We've been sitting in the middle of chaos and uncertainty for about a month and a half, give or take where you live. And I sat here telling you to be gentle and have grace. I told you to maintain your balance and be still. I told you to take hold of what you're feeling and be aware. I have guided you. but I've not asked you to take major action because I knew that we were all going through this process, something that we've never had to do before. How could I just start throwing things at you and asking you to do a bunch of things when you needed to sort out what was happening? But today I'm going to ask you to do more. I'm going to ask more of you. But before I do, I want to make it abundantly clear that I don't ask any action of you that isn't wrapped in love. I don't ask action from you that seems insanely contradictory to the person that I am and the coach that you need. I don't push out the call to take the next step unless I know it will transform your life and that everyone you love will benefit from it. And I want to make that so clear that I don't come in raising a pitchfork and, wielding words because I'm angry or having a bad day. No, I do it because I see that you have this potential inside of you that you're unwilling to push forward because either you're scared or you don't know how, or you don't have the motivation, or somebody is coddling something and you just need to get over that and you need to keep going because inside of you, you are capable. And inside of you, you want to accept more. I know that most of you and most of what you're telling yourself is an excuse. I know that most of you are excusing. Let me start over. I started to get ahead of myself and my thoughts, but I know that most of what you tell yourself is an excuse. And I know that most of what you're excusing is to avoid. And I know that most of what you're avoiding is your truth. I know that you're avoiding your truth because it means you actually have to live within a different frame than the one you live in now. I know that you're avoiding your truth because it means you have to actually live within a different frame than the one you live in now. Do you know what that means? Yes, you have to step outside of your comfort zone. If you want to be amazingly fit and you take no action, you never have to live as someone who is amazingly fit, right? If you want to be well organized, minimalistic, and you take no action, you never have to live as someone who is well organized. If you want to write a book and take no action, you never have to admit that you can actually be a best-selling author. It's easier to not have to live that life. It's not about what you're capable of. It's about what you don't want to have to keep doing. Because to maintain a high-performing life that you constantly evolve in sounds exhausting. I know. But what's more exhausting, actually? The life that you're living now sounds really exhausting. Chasing who you are, chasing your dreams, chasing the next paycheck, chasing, that sounds really exhausting. Just trying to figure out what you want and why you want it and who you are, yeah, that sounds exhausting, but until you find it, you're just avoiding your truth. You're coming up with excuses so you don't have to live your next level. But it's only exhausting because you haven't given it a fair try, just like I said. Schedules and routines, yes, hard as balls the first few months. Not gonna lie, but the payoff is years of being a well-oiled machine. You get to take that with you forever and ever and ever, amen. It doesn't go away, you just recall it. So if you get off track, you recall it. But learning how to do it, hard. The payoff, you have it forever. It's kind of like learning, I won't even say trigonometry because I never learned that. Not very good at math. Proper diet and exercise, hard as shit the first few months, guys. Hard as shit. The payoff, a healthy body that serves you. One that feels good, looks good if that's what you're looking for. One that, takes care of you in a better way. That's the payoff. Not having sugar in my coffee every morning, does it suck? Yeah. But knowing that I feel better, I'd rather have that. Time management, life management, money management feels suffocating at first, right? The payoff, more time, the life you truly want, and finances to live it. More time, the life you truly want, and the finances to live it. Me as your coach does you no favor by always saying, it's okay, there's always tomorrow. Sometimes, yeah, that needs to be said. And don't confuse the words here and only hear what you want. Don't do that, because I myself am a major action taker. And there are even times that my own coach has to tell me to sit, be still, and there's always tomorrow. Because remember, everything is paradoxical. And too much of anything is toxic. Too much sitting and always there's tomorrow, that's bad. Too much doing and creating and major action taking and avoiding and excusing, that's bad. You want to have that balance right in the middle. And that's why it's really healthy to have someone to mirror that for you, to be able to say, ooh, you've gone a little too far. You know, you're on Cheeto overload right now, or you're on action overload, you're not taking care of yourself. It's been known to happen on both sides. But in the reverse, if I hold and coddle your heart too much, if I don't allow you to take the risks and the actions that are necessary to step up and into the life that you want and you deserve, then I haven't done my job. It's much like if you don't have your children take on responsibilities of their own. You know, at some point they're going to need to go on with life and they don't know how. If I don't give you the choices and make you question what you want and who you are at all times, and I have failed you and have done nothing but give you a participation trophy. And no one wants a participation trophy. I can't even say it. No one wants a participation trophy. At least not the women in this group. You didn't come here to hear what every positive quote trolling the internet can tell you. You came here because you want change, you want action, and you want motivation. You want to live your best life. You want to find out what that looks like, even what it feels like, and you want to have more time to live the life of your dreams. You want less regrets, less resentment. You want to be heard and seen. You want to be respected. You want to be powerful. You want to claim your power. And I'm not talking powerful like you have to lead the Senate. I'm talking powerful like you just own your own power. And people see that as a very powerful thing. That your mind is powerful, that your spirit is powerful, that your courage is powerful, that your heart is powerful. You want to be respected as that. You should be. You want to unlock the woman inside of you, and you want to know who she is and what she wants. She's in there. Man, is she in there. I know she's in there. You don't have to be high performing every day of your life if you're choosing. You just have to know that if you do that, every day, you're choosing the lesser version, right? If last Thursday you like, fuck it, right? Started drinking at noon, handed your kids an iPad, and you're like, it's 4-day weekend. That's okay. It is okay that you do that. But if you do that every single day, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're doing a disservice to those you love. And I know that you know that, but I really want you to own that. If you skipped a few showers because grief and anxiety was a bit overwhelming and you stayed there in that world a bit too long, that's okay. But you can't continue to do that every day. Getting caught up in the replies and the comments and the tweets and the posts and the news and the emotions and the fear that everyone else is feeling happens. But you have to recognize it. You have to see your way out of it. You can't carry the emotions of others, just like I can't coddle your heart, because we all have to own our own truth. When you take on the other person's energy, you take away their power. Do you hear me? If you are carrying their anger and their emotion and their fear and their anxiety, and you're carrying it here and not putting it in your pocket, you are taking away their power. And why put it in your pocket? Because you can reach in there and pull it out at any time. You can put your hand in your pocket and know how it feels to be them. But if you keep it here for too long, you're going to infect yourself. So just make sure you're protecting yourself with those barriers and understanding that that's someone else's truth and not necessarily yours. I don't want to take away your power. In fact, everything I do and I stand for will give you power. It's designed to. You have to see it that way. And if you don't, then you're not ready. And you need to ask yourself why. I can't make you be ready, but if you're ready, then yes. If you're not, it's okay. I do this because I love you and I know without a shadow of a doubt that you are worthy and capable. But this is an it takes two situation. And if you sit there waiting for me to change your life, but you take no action, literally nothing will change. If you take no action, you're at 0%. If you take any action today, you're at 100%. You didn't have to accomplish the goal. You just had to take the action. You hit 100%. That's how easy it is. And then you do that tomorrow and you do that the next day and you take every 100% and make it another 100, even if you make it 80%. Holy cow. Imagine what is possible. That's the absolute guarantee that I can make for you right now, is that I can help you change your life. If you take the action, it will work. If you don't take the action, nothing will change. That's my guarantee to you. Don't take the action, nothing changes. It took me a long time to understand that the only way to heal is to go deep, 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 deep inside and do the work. And right now we need change makers in this world. We need leaders and those who have been healed to lead us into a new world. Because coming out of this changed, although it is amazing, it needs to be coming out of this healed. We have to come out of this healed because everyone suffers. It's like a human sacrifice. If we come out and we're just changed, like, oh, the world is different now, that doesn't, and none of that healed us. And we can't help to heal others. So what's being called forward right now are the change makers and the leaders. And those people are the ones that you should be looking toward right now to help you dig deep down inside of yourself and really do the work. And I know that as I grow and as my voice for you gets louder, don't think that I don't have outrage at times, because I really, really do. And I hold that in my pocket and I use it when it needs to be used. And I get really loud for you sometimes. And I know that there will be pushback. And I sat and I read an incredibly painful comment section yesterday of a well-known growth expert. And I thought, there's literally, there was nothing she could do that somebody wouldn't have criticized the way that she reacted to a situation. Some praised her, some really cut her down. And I know that there's never going to be a day where something that I say or do isn't criticized, whether it's publicly criticized or not. But I know that I'm here with conviction and true belief in my words and my action, and that gives me the authority over them. You do not have to agree with me. And I am 100% a person who loves to have a conversation about the disagreement, because I think that then sometimes I learn. But if you want to scrutinize or criticize or be negative, I don't hold that, because I know that my truth is something that is going to help you and is wrapped in love and is done in your best interest. I don't plan to stop you. I don't plan to stop pushing you to your next level. And I don't plan to stop showing up for you. And I don't plan to end the positivity that empowers you. In fact, I plan to do more of it. but you have to want it. And you have to want to hear the hard truths and the tough loves, and you have to want to do the inner work, and you have to want to know. You have to want the change, and you have to want to change your old patterns, your old habits. You have to want your best life. You have to want to love yourself and find out who she is and what she's capable of. You have to expect that it will be tough, and you have to expect that I will be tough, and I'll also be gentle, and it will also be easy at times. But I'll always try my best to learn what you as a person needs in the moment. And if it's rest, if it's coddling, then you get to do that. If it's action and awareness, then you have to do that. And this is why coaching is a personal investment. This is why coaching should be a private conversation for most of this inner work. And yes, I know group programs are great and they change you. I have a whole series about to roll out that you can literally pull off of the library shelf and open it on your computer and do it. And so I get it doesn't always have to be a personal conversation, but that's a consulting aspect. That's a strategy plan. That's a plan of action. That's not getting down to the deep-rooted, I really want change and I want to grow into myself. That is a private conversation. We can customize and personalize. And so the real magic is really going to happen when you allow that conversation to happen. When you stop being so afraid. I'm not a mean coach. You get on a call with me, we're going to make huge strides. And I do care about you. And I'm soft-spoken. I'm not going to yell at you. But, there are things that you have to do. And there's a lot of things that you need to think about. We customize a plan for your life and you get to see transformation. Because at the end of the day, you hold the power. You hold the answers. I just help you sort them and bring them to life. I'm just your mirror. Excuse me. I guess that's my cue because I've talked too long. But I want you guys to understand that everything that I do here is for a purpose, is for a reason. It's well thought out. I don't just come in like a raging bull in a china shop for no reason because my butt got stung by a bumblebee or something. No, I come in because I'm seeing the conversations. I'm paying attention. I also forecast really well in advance where we're headed. I can see where depression is going to come in. I can see where anxiety is going to sit. I can see where the grief is coming. I follow those trends. That's my job to do, so that I can bring the right leadership to you at the right times. But you have one job, and that is to figure out what you want and who you are. Maybe 3, why you want it. But you can get to that once you figure out what you want. It's not a one-day journal session. It takes a while. It takes a while. So I will leave in the comments a link for a mini session. This is the perfect opportunity for you to hop on this call and for us to start working through the process and give you some plan of action so that you understand what you have to do to stop with the old patterns and start with the new, and to get your ass into overdrive, to get your mind going, because you want to come out of this a healed person, a new woman, someone who has stepped into her power, and she has been freaking bold and made changes, because yes, the world is going to change, but you are going to live the life that you've always wanted to live. We haven't stopped. The world hasn't stopped spinning. It's just a little off its axis, right? So I'm not asking you to do something freaking hard. You don't have to build a house. You don't have to learn how to knit. I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm asking you to find out who you are. And that's something they should teach you in college. I promise you. And then I'm going to tell you all the easy steps and ways to get there. So the very first step of the Life First approach, sorry guys, my throat. The very first step, I'm actually going to release it as a 5-day boot camp. It's going to be around giving yourself the time that you need to have this conversation with yourself. That's coming. So look for the details. I'll put some stuff down below. You want to hop in on this. And the reason that I say that is because you have to find and carve out space for you, and you have to do it. This is only going to take you 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes a day for the rest of your life, you can do that. That's an even exchange. That's good. That's like never going to put you in the negative. You have 15 minutes. You can do it. And it should be the first 15 minutes of your day, or at least in the first hour. And you will come up with the best conversations with yourself, and you will do things that are different. You will live a different life, and you will live a better life, and you will live your best life because you will know who you are, what you want, and why you want it. So 5-day boot camp. It's called the Morning 15. This program has been run before, but I'm doing it as a 5-day boot camp. It is now the very first step of the Life First approach. It will then go on the shelf. It will go on the shelf, and you won't have the interaction with me, but you'll still have access to it. So get in while you have the chance for me to help you customize a plan. And let's do it. Thanks for attending this Sunday sermon. I think I might just do this again sometime soon. Bye, guys. Have a great afternoon.